Hey everyone, hope everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. Today is the Tuesday after Labor Day and fall is upon us, obviously. We're probably still a month away from harvest, I'm guessing, around there, but we've got a lot of things to do before we can get to that point. So today's vlog will probably be just a lot of us getting ready. So, I don't know, strap in, it'll be exciting. It's a little windy out here this morning, so hopefully this isn't seriously annoying, but I'll kind of point out some of the things we need to do. One is we need to deal with this combine. Like I've said before, we have 4 of these. This one is number 2. There's number 1, number 2, one we call Dean, and the one in the shed that you always see that I call 7. And we're going to take the feeder house off of this one and put it on the one in the shed, and then we're going to take all the belts off of this thing and move it back around with kind of some of the old gear that we use for parts and stuff, and hopefully we'll get this thing out of the way. We also have a really good tire on a bad rim on this combine, so that needs to be removed at some point and put somewhere that is actually useful instead of on the dead machine. That's one of the things we need to do. We need to get the ATV situation figured out because it doesn't want to start. We have an insurance guy coming out to look at crops from the hailstorm last spring. This doesn't look good. We have a bunch of shelving over here. It's been there for a couple years. It needs to be put up inside the shed there. It's kind of a 3-man job, and we have to clear all the space out where it needs to be before we can put it up, and it's kind of a tedious task. Just talked to Gary, and apparently the insurance guy is going to be here at 2 this afternoon. And it's going to kind of suck because I have to walk him all the way back into that field, and it's going to be a pain. But that's where the damage is. Unfortunately, it's in the middle of the section, so just what it is. Another thing Gary wanted to do today, maybe, I mean, if we get it done today or not, but this a couple years ago fell off of this truck here. It's meant for this tarp underneath there. That's just kind of flopped down right now, but when you roll the tarp back up, it sits under here and rests. And there's 2 sections under that are holding it, but this one fell off a couple years ago, and the holes need to be re-drilled. They're all worn from vibration and stuff, so yeah, we're gonna have to buy some new bolts for it. Another thing to add to the list. I hope you're writing all this down. Also got to take a look at this mower. Well, he was gone the other day. We were out here mowing, and that fuse just melted down completely. We've been having some issues with it, the battery not keeping a charge, and yeah, it wasn't good. But put a different battery in there, but I imagine it still probably doesn't hold a charge, so we gotta figure that situation out. There are a couple things you wanted to do. You definitely wanted to pull this tractor out of this lean-to on the side of the barn, and then probably bring the grain truck down in here just to kind of get it out of the way because there's a covered roof. Sometimes when she hasn't been started in a while, she does not like to go, so I think this tractor's been sitting here for about 6 months. I'm betting it's gonna be a pain to start. Lights on, that's a good deal. Well, hell, that was easy. Give her a few minutes to warm up. I found my car hard from last year, and no mice have eaten any of it. It still smells as clean as we would expect. That's good. Get my hoodie out of here and give it a wash. I was wondering where this hoodie went all year. After a while I figured maybe it just got dumped in the garbage or something, or used for oil, which can happen fairly often. So there's that piece, just needs to extend down there. That took a little longer than it should, getting that piece put back on the truck, but it's there now, so we got it pulled out. I think we're gonna take a little bit of lunch, and then we're gonna try and get this four-wheeler in here and get that fixed up so we can actually use it, because it's really handy when we need to run back and forth in and out of the field from the combine to the truck to the wagon to the tractor, blah 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 blah. Now we actually have space in here to do something. Well, we had some pretty good enchiladas for lunch, and now we're kind of getting back at it. We're waiting for the insurance guy to get here. So in the meantime, starting to clear out this wall, get all this stuff out so we can put those shelves in, which is going to be a huge bonus. Because so much of this crap you can't get rid of, but you can't have it outside, and it's so heavy you don't want to be moving it all the time. So first thing we're going to do is that big green box thing there, that's the front of a combine, and we need to move that. We're getting some shelving set up, and it's going pretty good. It's pretty wobbly, but it's only like $300 worth of shelving, but it'll be good to get stuff out. And the insurance guy just called, so we're gonna go out in the heat and look at crops, I guess. Still chewy. Chewy.
Not as far off as you think. Nothing wrong with that ear. I mean, that's a full.
Yeah. The kernels look like they're small.
Yeah. They will be. Some of this stuff has got decent ears on it.
That was a hot trip out into the corn. But I think, I mean, I'm not going to come out smelling like a rose by any means, but I'm definitely going to get some coverage. But anyway, right now we're back on this whole deal. Good. These are the shelves that I picked up a couple of years ago. These will be nice, because like all this crap, we can't get rid of it because we need it, but where do you put it? It doesn't stack nicely. But now we can just put it on a pallet, use the pallet jack there, and we can just slide everything in and out of there, and it's just out of the way. I mean, it's already taking up that space, but then up top, be able to do stuff like put these seed boxes from the planter up on a pallet, lift them up and throw them up there and get them out of the way. Just open up the space so much more. I think it was like $300 worth of shelving, and I think there's, I'm not positive, but I think there's 2 bays. I called it, well, whatever this is, 2 of these sections, and then we have some extra pieces. So what we'll do is you'll make a gap, and then put shelves in between the 2 sections. So it's essentially making 3 sections, I guess. I think we have enough pieces. I don't know. There's some. This whole thing was bought used at an auction, and there's extra pieces and pieces that don't work and pieces that are bent. So be interesting to see what we actually end up with. Hell, we might only end up with like 4 shelves or something. Well, that was kind of a long day, and I am absolutely filthy. All that stuff's been sitting in the yard for about 2 or 3 years, and it's dirty and rusty and muddy. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff done today. We weren't planning on getting nearly that much stuff done, so it was good. And so with that being said, I think time to go home and get some dinner and play with Morgan. If you like the content, don't forget to do the thing down there with buttons. We're coming into harvest season, and it'll just slowly start ramping up. And after walking through the corn this afternoon, I think it's going to come a little quicker than we think. So if you want to see more farming stuff, it's not far off. I mean, we got to do a lot of fix it and maintenance stuff before we start, but it's coming quick. So I'll see you there.